neither the US nor the UK have borders with Gaza. The one nation that does have a ringside seat to the famine unfolding inches from its border is Egypt. It bears direct responsibility for the current siege of Gaza, which is far more brutal than at any period during the last 16 years. Egyptian journalists staging an impromptu demonstration outside the headquarters of the Journalists Syndicate in Cairo were correct when they said Egypt is a partner in this siege. The Zionists are in control of us. For as long as Arab blood is cheap, down, down, down with any president. Mandela's children did it, and we are cowardice, shame and humiliation. We want the crossing open, the journalists chanted. The same message is now being delivered by children, taunting Egyptian troops on the border fence. They say that Egypt is the mother of the world. Have you ever seen a mother leaving her children alone? They are all gone. God is enough for us, one said. One side of the fence, there are more than 60,000 Palestinians in urgent need of medical treatment. Some are dying in ambulances waiting for permission to cross the border. On the other side, there's a silent queue of ambulances and aid trucks. Egyptian officials think nothing of giving contradictory figures about the numbers of Palestinians that are actually going through Rafah. The Egyptian Ministry of Health claimed last month to be treating 20,000 Palestinians, while the State Information Service this month said that the true number was 1,210. Israel has no qualms about throwing Egypt under a bus over the situation at Rafah. Its defence team at The Hague, where Israel is accused of genocide by South Africa, accused Cairo of being responsible for preventing the entry of humanitarian aid into Gaza. This sparked a furious response from Egypt, who said that Rafah was under Israeli control. The truth is that for decades now, nothing, overground at least, goes through Rafah without Israeli say-so. The history of Rafah and Egypt's relationship with Gaza is complex. Previous dictators like Hosni Mubarak enforced the siege overland, but released the pressure on Gaza underground by allowing the flow of goods through the tunnels. Abdel Fattah el-Sisi brought the darkest times for Gaza. Sisi has done everything in his power to harden the siege by flooding the tunnels, by forcibly displacing the Egyptian population of Rafah to create a buffer zone at the border. Under Sisi, Egypt has lost much of its geopolitical weight. It's a country that's no longer relevant to its troubled neighbours like Sudan, Gaza or Libya. But the other factor holding Sisi back is his fear of the Muslim Brotherhood to which Hamas is linked. He knows that the Palestinian uprising and the Arab Spring, which he spent 11 years suppressing, are intimately linked. So yes, Egypt has stopped Israel forcing an exodus of Palestinians to Sinai. And yes, Egypt has been trying to mediate a ceasefire. But if Sisi were true to his word about not allowing Israel to ethnically cleanse Gaza, he is duty-bound to help Palestinians survive on their shattered lands. Egypt has to secure Gaza's basic needs for water, food and medicine, either through the crossing or by sea. Egypt could invite other countries from the Organization of Islamic Cooperation to join in an airdrop of the sort the Allies did to break the Berlin blockade in 1948. Such an airlift would challenge the hypocrisy of the West and the crocodile tears it sheds for the famine in Gaza. I doubt this will happen, because military dictators care only about one thing, their own survival. But something else is happening which is just as important. Palestine is emerging as a global cause, just as was the case for the fight against apartheid in South Africa. The day after the court hearings in The Hague ended, there were demonstrations in 45 countries around the world, but none in Egypt, Saudi Arabia, or even Algeria. The despots of Egypt and the Gulf, however, should draw no straw of comfort from this. Anger is boiling in the hearts of Saudis, Egyptians, Jordanians, Iraqis, and this will eventually come to the surface and explode. The despots should beware of what they wish for. Their profound reluctance to stand up to Israel could explode in their faces.